Hi, friends. Thanks for coming back and staying tuned in with this video. Today, I want to share with you tips on passing the NAPLEX as a foreign graduate. And really, I will have an expert doing this session. I'm just ask her questions. She is a foreign graduate from Iraq that she came in 2014, and she's starting this journey and she passed her NAPLEX. So I think that'd be really good to hear from her perspective and how she prepared. So with no further ado, go ahead, Narmeen, introduce yourself to the team.
Good morning. My name is Narmeen Abbas. I work as a pharmacy technician with Harris Health System on Walmart. Uh, as Ann said, I passed my test recently and I'm getting ready to do internship. I'm looking forward to help everyone with this journey.
Thank you. Yes, I think people will definitely benefit from this. So, okay, you came to the U.S. in 2014, starting with the two FPGEE and TOEFL. For those that want to learn more, look at the previous video that we did. And now, then, how did you prepare for the NAPLEX?
Okay, after passing both a PGE and TOEFL IBT, the foreign pharmacy graduate will get a foreign pharmacy graduate certification in the mail. After that, you can apply for taking both NAPLEX and MPGE, but do not wait till you get the certification. Just start studying as soon as you got, you fulfilled your requirement for FPGE and TOEFL. And I just wanted to say in 2020, the requirements has changed. You have to pass TOEFL IBT first, then you have to take FPGE second. It was not like before, you can, switch between these two. No, the TOEFL IBT, which the score is good for 2 years, and then you have to take FPGE, and that score is good for 5 years. So just the requirements has changed, so please pay attention to that. We're starting with NAPLEX. As Ann said, I graduated in 2012 with bachelor degree. So I forgot everything. Like since I came to United States, I was working as a pharmacy technician. And if anyone works as a pharmacy technician, you don't need that pharmacy, like the pharmacist knowledge at that point, because you're just a pharmacy technician. You cannot give any professional help. Uh, it's true, I was getting ready to take my pharmacy exams, but yes, NAPLEX was something new to me. Uh, the things I read in our, like an example, in our prep course book was like something totally new. Except of the cardiovascular system medicines, I feel like I was going through a lot of new things because I forgot everything. Um, the things I advise every people to use is as I said, RX prep course book, the videos plus the quiz bank, and there is a Facebook group called RX Prep Group, and there is some Google resources like TLDR Pharmacy, and of course, as usual, Google and YouTube. If you don't know anything, if you need more explanation about certain subject, go to Google and YouTube.
Perfect.
Yes.
So yeah, those are really good resources, and I can definitely echo or resonate that the arts prep book has been very helpful, and that's what I used when I finished my school back in 2013 in pharmacy. In addition, I did a in-person course called High Yield Review, which is like a 3-day course, and they pretty much, it's like a like pharmacy school in 3 days. They try to cover everything and anything under the sun, and it's a lot of materials. It's an 8-hour day you sit and just absorb. So you really have to assess your study style, your learning style, your preferences. Like if you're more of a self-directed learner that you prefer to read books and do all these different things, or if you need someone to be there and teach you, or, and another thing that was helpful to me is have a study buddy, right? Like keep you accountable. And I'm very planner oriented, so I'm saying, okay, I'm going to take this test X, Y day, and I work backward. Like, okay, now I have to break it down by, okay, I have, 3 months, every month, and break it down by weeks, and then break it down by days. So that would be a strategy as well. Out of the resources that you mentioned, did you use anything else in addition to like a study group, buddy group that help you along the way?
So, study group is one of the things I advise everyone to consider. Um, not, I'm not a good, I'm not good with study groups. Like every time I set a schedule to study with someone, it's either work or family things comes up. So I just cannot do study group. And actually, I like to study by myself because I have my own schedule, my own pace. I like to use. And some, I mean, if you ever participated in a study group, like some things are just easy for some people and some things are difficult. Like for me, like the IV infusion calculations, it was like a little bit difficult at that time. I had to watch several videos on YouTube how to do them. And if you are in study group, like some people will just say calculation is too easy. Okay, let's skip that. So I would and actually I regret not having, if you ask me after passing NAPLEX and MPJE, I regret not having a study group because I took NAPLEX twice. I failed the first time, and on my second time, I had, let's say, 2 or 3 sessions with one of my coworkers who was studying for NAPLEX too. So she was helping me, like for especially with the antibiotic chapter, antibacterial, the 4 chapters for the antibiotics. It helped me a lot. Like we would text each other questions and answer it. It helped me a lot with memorization. It pushed me to study because again, like after work, I worked full time. When I was taking Netflix, I was taking working full time, and plus I had a PRN job too. So I mean, I did not have enough time to study or relax. So whenever I have some time, I'll just stay in my bed, do nothing. So having that coworker, going through the same thing as me and helping me with the studying was, I mean, I cannot describe how much it helped me at that time. So please, I mean, if you are good with study group, have a study group with Netflix and try to have like at least 1 hour. I mean 2 3 times a week. If you don't have time, do it like that. Just make sure you have someone you can talk to, share your concerns, like a support group and a study group at the same time.
Yeah. And I think, like I said, it really depends on your learning preferences. Like for you, it seems like you're more self-directed. For people, that like to work in group or like to talk things out, the best way for you to know if you know the materials well is when you explain it to someone. And if you explain it and you fumble through, then you probably don't know the materials enough. But when you explain it and people are like, wow, you made that sound really simple, then you know the materials really well. So that's kind of like a way to assess how well you know the materials. And you keep in mind the study group would not be able to go over all the materials with you because that's going to be a lot. So pick on areas that you're not so good at. So in Noreen's case, it's antibiotics, and for me it was oncology and antibiotics. So I make sure I meet with someone that knows better or likes antibiotics and oncology, and then work with them. And 1 2 hour session. And if you can't get into person, there's FaceTime, there's different modality that you can use, so you don't have to be in person to study. So just got to set up time to correlate that you're able to do it. The other strategy for those that are visual is, look at Quizlet. Keep in mind, Quizlet have a lot of quote free or readily available materials, but you just want to fact check because sometimes they're not very good or they're not very accurate. So that's one thing you want to do, or just create it yourself, which takes more time. So it really depends how much time you have. But just keep in mind what is your learning preferences. And really quickly, if you don't know what your learning preferences are, go to Google and Google VARK, V as Victor, A as Apple, RK. VARK, it will literally take you 10 minutes and you fill out a certain number of questions and it tells you what are your learning preferences: auditory, visual, kinesthetic, and again, it will help you now studying, but also going forward in life from that standpoint. All right, so I know that you say you had to take the NAPLEX a second time and you passed with 83, which is awesome. But I know that first time you probably very what is it, frustrated slash sad when you didn't pass the first time. So did you have to wait? How long do you have to wait before you take the second?
So for the when I failed my Netflix, I tried to rescore it because I missed by 2 points. Actually, it didn't work again. So please do not try to rescore. So I had to apply again for the test. It's like 45 days wait time because before they give you the ATT or authorization to take the test. Then after you get that, you have to look for a spot ASAP because especially when you are taking the test at the same time pharmacy students are graduating, you have to wait like what 2 3 months before finding a spot. That's why once you get that ATT, get online and get that spot right away. In my case, because of work, I had to postpone it a little bit. I had to push it like 4 months after I failed my test, 4 or 5 months actually. And I got lucky to take it before all that COVID-19 started because once that started, they canceled every single test, whether it's like uh, MPGE or NAPLEX. Everyone got that email, your test has been canceled. So I got lucky to pass the NAPLEX. But yes, certainly when you fail the NAPLEX, you have to wait. Like, I mean, in my case was 45 days and I kept calling and calling because it took a bit longer to get that ATT. But yes, like I would give, if you fail, I would give like 2 3 months before you are able to retake it again.
And I think that's really important to know, especially as you are looking for a job or about to, looking for a pharmacist job. You will need to get a pharmacist license. Some will let you give you some leeway where you have to get it within 90 days upon your hire date. So keep that in mind when you're taking all these tests because that will impact kind of your job outlook. So I know there's also a pre-NAPLEX quiz and test that you can take before you take your NAPLEX to assess how you're doing. I personally didn't get a chance to do that, but I've heard really good things about it. But I heard it's harder than a real test. So what did you hear from, I know you didn't take it yourself, but what did you hear from other friends?
Yeah, they said, I mean, I was advised to take it like in both my attempts to take that pre-NAPLEX. But as I said, I was working full time, so I know I was not ready to take pre-NAPLEX because you have to be like ready, like what? Let's say that you have to be sure that you studied at least what 75% of the material. But at that time, I was like just studying what 10 hours straight to finish what I can finish because I had to take some days off. It was not enough for my first attempt. They say the score for the pre-NAPLEX will be 10 plus or minus the reels, like whatever you will get on Netflix. So people were taking it. I did not, but I advise everyone to take it just to get that comfort that you are ready to take the Netflix. Um, and both attempts, I did not take it. First because expensive, and second, I think it's $75 or $52. I did not look into it really well, but yes, I didn't have time to study at that time too. So I know I will not pass the pre-Netflix. I didn't want to get that anxiety, the anxiety attack before, especially they advise you to take it a week before the test. I didn't want to get that anxiety attack. Oh God, I'm not ready. Let me reschedule. So, but yes, if you think you want to test yourself to be ready for the real Netflix, please go ahead and take it. I think you have 2 attempts. Oh, I'm sorry, you have 2 attempts only to take the pre-Netflix. So just use it wisely. I mean, if you want to take it like a week, then 3 days before the test, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, and you mentioned that if you don't feel you're ready, you can reschedule, but only have 3 business days to reschedule.
Yes.
So I think that's part of a reason why I decided not to take the pre-NAPLEX. I use a lot of the quiz bank from RX Prep and just there's some math calculation out there. The RX Prep, one thing I feel like lacking is the math portion, and you can actually go and get other math calculation problems elsewhere, and it helps you get more practice compared to RX Prep. Okay, so as we wrap up, what are tips for the test day that you would suggest for those taking the NAPLEX?
Okay, for every single test that you have to take as a foreign pharmacy graduate, please do not forget your ID. For like I forgot to mention, for a PG and TOEFL IBT, you have to use your passport. If you are not a citizen, you have to use your home country passport. You cannot use your state or driver license, the ID or driver license. For NAPLEX, you have to have two identification form. It could be your driver license, even if you are not a citizen, and you can use your credit or debit card. Foreign passport, you cannot use it for NAPLEX. Please do not forget these two things on your test day, because they will make you either cancel the test, they will tell you they will not let you in. So, or they make you drive home if you don't live far to get these two. So before my test, my driver license did not have my middle initial on there, and they are a little bit specific because they want to see that middle initial. So on an ABP website, they have my middle name. On my driver license, there is no middle initial or no middle name. So I had to go to the DMV and change it before taking the NAPLEX. So please, if you are getting ready for the NAPLEX and you're not a citizen, so you just have limited identification form for the test, please look at these two forms and make sure they match, and make sure they match your name on a NABP website, and sign them before you go there. And again, get a good amount of sleeping too.
Get at least 6 hours of sleep. Cramming the day before the test is not going to help you. Any tidbits you have is going to be you rather go to sleep, lock all the things that you've learned in the past few months into your long-term memory bank, and then just so you can feel rested. Because the test day is very long. It's like 6 or 7 hours. It's been a while since I took it. But it's literally the whole day of work. You just sit there. It's like a mental, like after you finish that test, you're like, your brain is fried. Like you just want to do something else besides studying. Um, Make sure that if you don't bring your phone in because they don't let you have your phone. I remember that part. So leave it out. I know I'm not, for calculators, they actually use it on they'll have it where you be able to use a calculator on the test itself. So it's literally very strict where they would not let you bring your phone or any electronics in, just to prevent cheating and all this extra stuff that they have. Um, and I think, yeah, if you are a not a morning person, make sure you drink a lot of coffee. Well, not a lot, enough amount of caffeine to keep you
Yes.
awake, but not a lot that you keep going to the restroom, because they do let you have certain breaks. I think two breaks.
Yeah,
That
two
for
breaks, 10-minute break.
Yeah, two 10-minute breaks. So if you need to go to a restroom, you can, but just minimize the tea and the coffee because those are diuretics and it makes it go to the restroom, being all pharmacy nerd here. So just also bring water, like stay hydrated. And for me, I use gum, like I chew gum to help increase oxygen. So all these little things are very helpful. And bring a good jacket because I'm a cold in nature, so I get cold quite easily. So in the testing center, they crank it down pretty well. So just in case, layers, 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 layers. If you're warm, take it off. If you're cold, you're just standing there freezing, it's not comfortable. So make sure you wear comfortable clothes. You don't have to be all business professional. You can wear, well, I would recommend wearing pajamas, but just very, very athletic, comfortable clothing, just so whatever that you do, it helps because you'll be sitting for a long, long time. All right. Any last thing that you want to share with the team before we close it out?
Um, my advice for everyone start want to get licensed in the United States is to get a job in a pharmacy. Doesn't matter if it's hospital or retail, just please get into a pharmacy job. Get it, because it will help you a lot. You will see your pharmacist doing counseling. You will know some of the rules and laws. Um, and actually, I mean, Some pharmacies will be able to hire you as an intern once you are done with your test. So, I mean, if you are not getting that, even if you don't get that internship with them, I mean, you will learn a lot from pharmacy in the pharmacy. You'll be able to interact with people, learn a lot from your pharmacist again. Uh, I've seen like my pharmacist doing counseling several times, how they handle difficult customers. I feel it's added too much to me. Um, and if you speak about the MPJE, you will learn some certain rules and laws while you are working inside the pharmacy. Um, Please, I mean, you will see certain people passing the test from their first attempt. They will finish it in a year or something. Do not feel discouraged. Um, just think about the future. After you pass all these tests, you'll be relaxed. You'll be making money, hopefully. I mean, if we have a good job market at that time, but just, I know if I make it, well, I'm not that perfect student. I know everyone will make it too.
Thank you. Wow, that's very inspiring. And I think if you think about her journey, she started or she finished pharmacy school in her country in 2012. She came 2014, and it's been 6 years in the making, and she's still going at it, right? So don't be discouraged, and I really appreciate that message you're sharing is persistent. Keep trying, and that's how we get connected. It's because she keep trying, and she basically linked in me, like messaged me randomly on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and we connected this way. So don't give up. You can do it. It takes time. Everything takes time, right? So you can definitely do it. And same for NAPLEX. It's a daunting test, but you can do it. Like she said, we can do it, so you can too. Just discipline. Make sure you stay organized and take good care of yourself, and make sure you surround yourself with people that love you and support you in any way. So with that, that's the NAPLEX in a nutshell. I hope you find that helpful from our conversations. For you wanting to know more about the next video, please subscribe and hit the bell button for the next video, because we're going to talk about the Texas MPJE. And just for those that went through this process already, post and one thing that you learned from this session and one thing that helped you in the past, just so it will help others people. This channel is about building a community and helping pharmacists and pharmacy students to grow and have a meaningful life in our career and our life. So with that, I will see you guys next time.